Today we will talk about defining the project. This chapter emphasizes the challenges faced by project managers when handling multiple small projects or large, complex ones. It introduces a systematic method, the work breakdown structure, WBS, for collecting information throughout the project life cycle to meet stakeholders' needs and align with organizational plans. The WBS outlines tasks and facilitates the development of an integrated information system for scheduling, budgeting, and control. The chapter also introduces the process breakdown structure and responsibility matrices for simpler projects. It concludes with the importance of creating a communication plan to coordinate project activities. The 5 generic steps provided offer a structured approach for gathering information needed to develop a WBS, and these steps, along with project network development, occur concurrently. The chapter underscores the significance of defining the project as the initial step in effective project management. As you see, we begin with 5 general steps for collecting project information. Step 1. Defining the project scope. Step 2. Establishing project priority. Step 3. Creating the work breakdown structure. Step 4. Integrating the WBS with the organization. Step 5. Coding the WBS for the information system. We will discuss each step in more detail in the next slides. Step 1. Defining the project scope. Defining the project scope is crucial for creating a detailed project plan and involves specifying the end result or mission of the project, focusing on delivering a product or service for the client. Poorly defined scope is a major obstacle to project success, with studies showing a strong correlation between clarity in scope definition and project success. The scope document, developed with input from the project manager, customer, and stakeholders, directs focus throughout the project's life, detailing objectives, deliverables, and technical requirements. The project scope, a document used for planning and measuring success, describes specific, tangible, and measurable results expected upon project completion. The project scope is an essential element in project planning as it sets the foundation for all project activities. The checklist provided offers a comprehensive approach to ensuring the completeness of the project scope. Let's break down each item. Project objective. This involves clearly defining the overall goal of the project, which should align with the customer's needs. It includes aspects like the project's duration and cost, providing a clear understanding of what needs to be achieved. Product scope description. This item entails providing a detailed description of the characteristics of the project's product, service, or outcome. It should be progressively elaborated throughout the project, ensuring that the project team has a clear understanding of what they are working towards. Justification. The justification explains the reasons behind management authorizing the project. It often involves a business case that includes a cost/benefit analysis and highlights the strategic significance of the project. This step ensures that the project aligns with the organization's goals and objectives. Deliverables. Deliverables are the major, measurable outputs expected from the project. This item involves defining the specific outputs that need to be produced, such as specifications, software coding, and final tests. Clear identification of deliverables helps the team stay focused and ensures that the project meets its objectives. Milestones. Milestones are significant events or checkpoints in the project that occur at specific points in time. They provide rough estimates of time, cost, and resources required to reach those points. Milestones help track progress and enable effective monitoring and control of the project. Technical requirements. This involves specifying the technical criteria that must be met for proper performance. It could include factors like compatibility with power sources or specific identification capabilities needed. Defining technical requirements ensures that the project meets the necessary standards and functions correctly. Limits and exclusions. This item establishes the boundaries of the project scope to avoid false expectations. It includes limitations like specific work hours or tasks that are explicitly excluded from the project. Clearly defining limits and exclusions helps manage stakeholders' expectations and prevents scope creep. Acceptance criteria. Acceptance criteria outline the conditions that must be met before accepting the project's deliverables. It includes completion of tasks, low defect rates, or third-party certification, among others. Establishing clear acceptance criteria ensures that the project meets the predefined quality standards and satisfies customer requirements. Scope statements typically consist of a concise 1 to 2 page summary capturing key elements, followed by more extensive documentation of each element, such as detailed milestone schedules or risk analysis reports. Different industries and companies may use unique checklists and templates tailored to their specific project needs. Some companies refer to scope statements as statements of work, SOWs, while others use the term project charter, which authorizes the project manager to initiate and lead the project, often including a brief scope description. Scope creep, the expansion of project scope over time, is a common challenge, often leading to added costs and potential delays. Causes include poor requirement analysis, insufficient user involvement, underestimation of project complexity, lack of change control, and gold plating, adding extra features beyond the project scope. Traditional project management methods applied to high uncertainty projects may contribute to these issues. Agile project management, which assumes evolving scope, is recommended for such projects, with scope creep being managed and reflecting progress. Change control is crucial for handling necessary changes to the project scope, and project managers often highlight coping with changing requirements as one of their most challenging problems in the field. Step 2. Establishing project priorities. The success of a project is traditionally defined by meeting or exceeding customer and management expectations in terms of cost, time, and performance. However, there is an interrelationship among these criteria, and trade-offs may be necessary. For example, compromising performance and scope may be required to complete the project quickly or cost-effectively. The longer a project takes, the more expensive it tends to become, but the correlation between cost and schedule is not always straightforward. Project managers need to manage the trade-offs between time, cost, and performance. This involves defining and understanding the priorities of the project by having open discussions with the customer and upper management. One technique for this purpose is completing a priority matrix, which identifies which criterion is constrained, which should be enhanced, and which can be accepted. The priority matrix consists of 3 categories. 1. Constrain. The original parameter is fixed, and the project must meet the completion date, specifications, scope, or budget. 2. Enhance. Given the project scope, which criterion should be optimized? This usually means taking advantage of opportunities to reduce costs, shorten the schedule, or add value to the project's performance. 3. Accept. For which criterion is it tolerable not to meet the original parameters? When trade-offs are necessary, it may be acceptable to allow the schedule to slip, reduce the scope or performance, or go over budget. The priorities vary depending on the project. For example, in software projects, time to market is often critical, and companies may defer certain scope requirements to meet deadlines. On the other hand, special event projects have a fixed date, and the project manager may compromise the scope to ensure on-time completion if the budget is tight. While some argue that all three criteria should be optimized, project managers often face tough decisions that benefit one criterion at the expense of the others. Defining and agreeing on project priorities beforehand helps make the right decisions when challenges arise. There are natural limits to constraining, enhancing, or accepting each criterion. These limits can be documented as part of the priority matrix. It is important to develop the matrix before the project begins to establish clear priorities, align expectations, and facilitate adjustments in scope, schedule, and budget allocation during the planning process. However, it's crucial to note that priorities may change during the course of the project. The customer's needs or directives from top management might shift, requiring the project manager to anticipate and adapt accordingly. Vigilance and flexibility are necessary to address changes in priorities and make appropriate adjustments throughout the project. Step 3. Creating the work breakdown structure. WBS is a hierarchical outline of the project's work elements. It helps project managers ensure that all products and work elements are identified, integrates the project with the organization, and establishes a basis for control. The WBS subdivides the work into smaller elements, starting with the final deliverable and progressively breaking it down into major project work deliverables/systems, sub-deliverables, and work packages. This figure illustrates the major groupings commonly used in developing a hierarchical WBS. The process begins by identifying the major project work deliverables/systems, followed by defining the sub-deliverables required to accomplish these larger deliverables. This process continues until the sub-deliverables reach a manageable level where one person can be responsible. These sub-deliverables are then divided into work packages. Since a sub-deliverable typically includes multiple work packages, the work packages are grouped based on the type of work they represent, such as design and testing. These groupings within a sub-deliverable are referred to as cost accounts. This grouping enables monitoring of project progress by work, cost, and responsibility. Now, how WBS helps the project manager. The work breakdown structure, WBS, helps project managers in several ways. First, it defines all the elements of the project in a hierarchical framework and establishes their relationships to the project's end item. This allows the project to be broken down into smaller work packages, facilitating the evaluation of cost, time, and technical performance at all levels of the organization throughout the project's life. The WBS provides management with information appropriate to each level of the organization. Top management can focus on major deliverables, while first-line supervisors can handle smaller sub-deliverables and work packages. This allows for effective communication and decision-making within the project team. Each item in the WBS requires time and cost estimates, enabling project planning, scheduling, and budgeting. The WBS also serves as a framework for tracking cost and work performance. By assigning responsibility for executing work packages to organizational units and individuals, the WBS integrates the work and the organization, ensuring accountability and coordination. The WBS allows for the rolling up or summation of budget and actual costs from smaller work packages to larger work elements. This enables performance measurement by organization units and work accomplishment. Additionally, the WBS helps define communication channels within the project and assists in understanding and coordinating various parts of the project. It shows the work and responsible organization units, suggesting where written communication should be directed. This integrated structure facilitates quick problem resolution and coordination. The lowest level of the work breakdown structure, WBS, is the work package. Work packages are short-duration tasks with a specific start and stop point that consume resources and represent costs. Each work package serves as a control point, managed by a work package manager responsible for ensuring timely completion within budget and technical specifications. It is recommended that work packages should not exceed 10 workdays or one reporting period. If a work package takes longer, monitoring points should be established to track progress and address issues. Work packages should be as independent as possible and not described in multiple subdeliverables. Subdeliverables, on the other hand, include outcomes from multiple work packages and do not have their own duration, resources, or direct cost. The duration of a subdeliverable can be derived from the start and finish dates of associated work packages. The WBS development process involves group efforts, with the project team breaking down the project into components. For complex projects, responsible individuals for major deliverables establish the initial levels, and further details are delegated. A project support person integrates the information into a formal WBS, which is reviewed by the project team and stakeholders for agreement and revisions. Each work package in the WBS defines the work, identifies time and cost estimates, determines resource requirements, assigns responsibility to an individual, and establishes monitoring points for measuring progress. It is important to create an output-oriented WBS that focuses on concrete deliverables rather than organizational functions or processes. Project managers can benefit from using relevant examples from previous projects when creating a WBS. Stakeholder consultation and revision are crucial for agreement and alignment with the project's objectives. Developing an output-oriented WBS allows for effective planning, scheduling, and control of the project. Step 4. Integrating the WBS with the organization. The work breakdown structure, WBS, is used to connect the organization units responsible for carrying out the work. This process results in the creation of the Organization Breakdown Structure, OBS, which illustrates how the organization is structured to fulfill work responsibilities. The OBS serves several purposes, including summarizing the performance of organization units, identifying units responsible for work packages, and linking organization units to cost control accounts. The OBS organizes organization subdeliverables in a hierarchical pattern, typically based on the traditional organization structure. Even if the project is performed by a team, it is essential to break down the team structure to assign responsibility for budgets, time, and technical performance. Similar to the WBS, the OBS assigns the lowest organization unit with the responsibility for work packages within a cost account. The integration of the WBS and OBS creates project control points, cost accounts, where work and responsibility intersect. This integration allows for effective project management and control. For example, at a specific level, there may be multiple work packages assigned to different departments within the organization unit. The intersection of the WBS and OBS represents the set of work packages required to complete a specific sub-deliverable and the organization unit responsible for completing those packages. The intersection of the WBS and OBS serves as a cost account for project management control. It enables tracking progress vertically on deliverables, client's interest, and horizontally by organization responsibility, owner's interest. This dual perspective helps ensure effective monitoring and control during the execution phase of the project. Step 5. Coding the WBS for the information system. To maximize the usefulness of a breakdown structure, a coding system is essential. Codes are assigned to different levels and elements within the work breakdown structure, WBS, organization units, work packages, and budget and cost information. These codes enable consolidation of reports at any level in the structure. The most commonly used coding scheme is numeric indentation, where each level is represented by a lower indentation. The numeric scheme extends down to the work package level, ensuring that all tasks and elements in the structure have an identification code. The cost account serves as the focal point, bringing together budgets, work assignments, time, cost, and technical performance. The coding system can be expanded to cover large projects, and additional schemes can be added for special reports. For example, adding specific numbers or letters after the code can indicate site locations, elevations, or special accounts. The number of subdivisions is not limited to 10, allowing for extensions to large numbers or decimal subdivisions. Organizations often combine letters and numbers creatively to minimize the length of WBS codes. In larger projects, the WBS is supported by a WBS dictionary, which provides detailed information about each element in the structure. The dictionary includes the work package level, name, functional description, and sometimes specifications. Having detailed descriptions in the dictionary helps prevent scope creep by clearly defining the scope of each element. Okay, the work breakdown structure, or WBS, is most suitable for design and build projects with tangible outcomes, such as constructing a mining facility or developing a car prototype. These projects can be decomposed into major deliverables, sub-deliverables, and work packages. However, it is more challenging to apply the WBS to process-oriented projects, where the final outcome is the result of a series of steps or phases. In such cases, a process breakdown structure, PBS, is often used instead. The PBS organizes the project around phases rather than deliverables. Each major phase can be further broken down into specific activities until a sufficient level of detail is reached to communicate what needs to be done. People can be assigned to these activities, and an organization breakdown structure, OBS, can be created to align responsibilities. Deliverables are still important, but are defined as outputs required to progress to the next phase. The PBS is commonly referred to as the waterfall method in the software industry. as progress flows downward through each phase. To manage project progress, checklists are developed based on phase exit requirements. These checklists ensure that deliverables are complete and accurate, and they require sign-offs from responsible stakeholders to indicate successful completion of a phase and readiness to move on to the next. By establishing clear exit requirements and defining deliverables for each phase, the PBS serves as a suitable alternative to the standard WBS for projects that involve extensive development work. For small projects where a detailed work breakdown structure or organization breakdown structure (OBS) is not necessary, project managers often utilize a responsibility matrix (RM). The RM, also known as a linear responsibility chart, provides a summary of project tasks and identifies who is responsible for each task. It is a simple chart that lists project activities and the participants assigned to them. The RM uses labels like R to indicate the individual responsible for coordinating the efforts of other team members and ensuring task completion, while S represents team members who support or assist the responsible individual. This basic form of RM is useful for organizing and assigning responsibilities in small projects and even sub-projects of larger and more complex projects. In more complex RMs, not only individual responsibilities are identified, but also critical interfaces between units and individuals that require coordination. Numeric coding schemes are often used within each cell of the RM to define the nature of involvement in a specific task. These RMs extend the WBS/OBS and offer a clear and concise method for depicting responsibility, authority, and communication channels. Responsibility matrices provide a way for all project participants to understand their responsibilities and agree on their assignments. They also help clarify the extent of authority exercised by each participant when multiple parties are involved in an activity. By using an RM and defining authority, responsibility, and communication within its framework, the relationship between different organizational units and the project's work content becomes clear. Creating an internal communication plan is crucial once project deliverables and work are identified. Poor communication is often a major contributor to project failure, so a robust communication plan can mitigate problems and ensure that stakeholders have the necessary information to perform their tasks. The project manager and/or project team usually develop the communication plan during the early stages of project planning. This plan plays a key role in coordinating and tracking project schedules, issues, and action items. It outlines how information will flow to different stakeholders and becomes an integral part of the overall project plan. A project communication plan addresses core questions such as what information needs to be collected and when, who will receive the information, what methods will be used to gather and store information, and when and how the information will be communicated. Developing such a plan involves steps like stakeholder analysis, identifying information needs, determining sources of information, selecting dissemination modes, and clarifying responsibility and timing. By establishing a communication plan, project managers gain control over the flow of information instead of simply responding to requests. This reduces confusion, unnecessary interruptions, and provides greater autonomy. Regular reporting allows senior management to feel more comfortable and trust the project team to complete the project without interference. Establishing a well-grounded internal communication plan up front is of utmost importance. Many project issues can be traced back to insufficient attention given to communication planning.
Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, please like and subscribe to channel.